All right, welcome to this yoga class. Let's start at the back of our mats in child pose. And if you have a ball, we'll use that later in class. Okay, so in child pose, the toes are touching. The knees are just wide enough that the sides of your rib cage can graze the inside of your legs. You don't have to be super wide. And if you can, the forehead goes to the floor. If not, you cross elbows. If not, elbows on the floor, forehead supported in your hands. Find what works for you, or arms out in front, elbows lifted. And as you press into your hands, you'll feel your lower back release. And pick up the head so you can lift it and move it, walk around to one side, press into your palms, big stretch on one side of your body. And pick your head up so you can move it and walk around the other way. Inhale back to center. Bring one arm in, palm up, and slide that arm through, looking under your arm. Press into the other hand so you stretch your side body. Spin your rib cage towards the ceiling. And back to center. Lifting the other elbow if you haven't lifted it already. Bring your hands in, palm up, slide that arm through, press into your palm, lengthening the side body, spin your rib cage towards the ceiling. Slow, easy breaths. And inhale back to center. Let's inhale up into table, dog pose. Exhale back into child. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, round back. Inhale, tailbone and head lift. Exhale. Inhale, dog tilt. Exhale, round back. Let's add to this. Inhale, dog tilt. Exhale, round up cat pose. Bring your feet a little close, knees a little closer. Dog tilt and child. So now you're not in that wide-legged child because we're more focusing on the cat and dog pose. And back into child. Inhale. And child. Last one, inhale, dog tilt. Round up into cat. Lift your chest and your tailbone and round back into child pose. Inhale up and roll over onto your backs. Your knees and feet as wide as your mat. Arms can be out with a big stretch out or goddess, whatever works for you. And we'll windshield wiper the knees nice and slow. So opening the inside of the leg and stretching the outside of the leg, lubricating the hip joints. And lowering the knees to, let's say, the left. You can hang out here, or for more intensity, pick up your left heel and place the heel on the top of your right knee. Just letting that weight help you stretch the top of the thigh even more. Breathe into that stretch. Release that foot. Come back to feet as wide as your mat. And lower the knees down to the right. And either hang out here or pick up your right foot, place the right heel on the top of your left knee, weighting that knee down and increasing the stretch on the thigh. One more breath. And release that foot. Toe heel the feet back to parallel, bring them in and give yourself a hug. Let's place the right foot on the floor and stretch it out. Hugging the left leg in, bring the left knee into your left armpit. Bring the leg back to center and bring the knee across towards your right armpit. It's not going to make it, but you'll feel the stretch in the outside of your leg. Come back to center, grab your right ankle with your right hand, left ankle with your right hand, and rotate from the hip joint, flex the foot, trying to bring the leg in a right angle, 180 degrees angle. Yeah, we can say right angle across the body. And we'll bow the cello, opening up the hip joint again and bringing the leg back and forth across the body. Foot nice and flexed. Bring the heel in against your thigh, open the knee out to the side, press out through the other heel. Inhale your arms up for reclining Vrikshasana. Lovely long breaths, pressing out through the heel, exhale. Inhale, lengthening out through the fingertips, but the shoulder blades are sliding down your back. And bring the arms back in, bring the knee back in. and place it on the floor, stretch out. Bring the other leg in, give it a hug. Draw that knee into your right armpit. Come back to center, draw the knee to the left armpit. Come back to center, reach down with your left hand and grab your right heel or ankle, rotating the leg so it's at a right angle from your torso. Flex out through the heel, holding the knee and the foot. We're bringing the leg across the body, bowing the cello. Foot is flexed to protect the knee. And bring that leg down, coming into reclining Vrikshasana. Press out through the long leg, reach up overhead, float that knee open. Deep breaths. And bring that knee back up, give it a hug. And stretch it out. Bring the first leg in, give it a hug. Bring the knee out into your left armpit. Flex the foot towards the ceiling, doing a half happy baby or an upside down lunge, whichever you want to think of it as. You can either hug the back of your thigh, ankle, or the top of your foot as you press your knee into your armpit. And let's release that leg down. Feel that nice stretch. Bring the other leg in, give it a hug. Bring that knee out. Flex the foot, either hugging the back of your thigh or ankle or your foot as you press your knee down into your armpit for a half happy baby. And release that leg back down. And place your feet flat on the floor, roll over, and come sit up. Nice deep breath, relax your shoulders. Inhale, reach up, turn the palms, and we'll stretch to one side. And we'll stretch the other way. One more time. And float the arms down. Inhale tall, bring one arm across, spinal twist. And spinal twist the other way. And once again. And back to center. Let's draw a little figure 8 with the nose. I'm sorry, I like to call that an infinity. It's not a figure 8, it's an infinity. And back the other way. And back to stillness, inhaling tall. Bring your chin to your chest and your ear to your shoulder. And then we'll bring the ear forward and back over the shoulder. Back to center, roll the head to the other side. And then we bring the head forward and back over the shoulder. And back to center and up. Bring the hands behind the head. Let's reach back. And we'll tip over to one side. Inhale back to center and we'll tip over the other way. Inhale up, spinal twist. And back to center and spinal twist. Inhale up, reach back, open. Come back to vertical. Let's tip over to one side. Back to center and tip over the other way. And back to center and rotate. And rotate. And back to center. Let's drop the hands to the shoulders and we'll do some shoulder circles. And circle back the other way. And let's fly up and down. And let's kiss the elbows and try to kiss the elbows. You can say kiss the shoulder blades. And release. Let's stop traffic. Shoulders down, heart lifted, and point down. Stop traffic, pull your fingers back. Point down, press the back of the hand. Point the fingers up, pull them back. Feel that stretch on the underside of your arm. Point the fingers down, press into the back of the hand. Feel that stretch in the top. One more time, stop traffic, pull back. And point down and press. And release. Take a breath, feel the two arms. And we'll stop traffic. and point the fingers down. Stop traffic and pull the fingers back. Point the fingers down, pull it back. Point the fingers up, pull the fingers back. Point the fingers down and press it to the back. Point the fingers up, pull back. Point the fingers down, press the back. And we'll just circle the wrists any way you want. It can be synchronous or not synchronous. Circling the wrists. And circling back the other way, whichever way you didn't do it. If you prefer to do both arms, hands together like hula, that's fine. I'm just feeling asynchronous today. Good, and rest. Let's come on to our hands and knees for toe hamstring stretch. So starting in table, we'll bring the right foot through. If you can walk that foot forward as long as you keep the knee over the heel, but that gives you an opportunity to bring your hips forward and down. We've already done some hip openings, so it might feel nice and stretched already. Compress the back toes into the floor. Come up onto your fingertips. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. And reach back, lift the toes up, bow towards your leg. Intense stretch in the back of that leg. Or maybe you're feeling it in your quadricep, the front of your other thigh. So inhale forward and exhale back. You can take all the time you want. You can stay in a pose and explore it here, or move between poses with your breath. However you feel your body would benefit most today, is it a longer holding or more movement? Let's come into our lunge, point the back toes. Bring the hands to the thigh. Come on up. Bring your hands behind you to your sacrum, squeezing the elbows together. By the way, if this is too much on your knee, you fold the mat over and put your knee on the double fold. You would fold the other side, but I wanted to show you. Okay. Arc back if it's okay for your balance. You really need to ground through that front foot to the top of the back foot. Inhale back, come on down, bring your hands to the inside of the foot, dropping your hips, and if you, I'm gonna pad my knee here. And if you can, we're gonna lift that back knee, so your hands are on the inside, so you're a little closer to the back foot that's lifted, and then if you can reach back and grab that foot. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, or you can just stay here with the back foot lifted. And place that foot back on the floor. And we'll press back into child. When you're ready, inhale up. Yeah, I'm going to pad that knee right now. And bring the opposite foot through. And if you can walk it forward a little bit, bringing your hips forward and down. On your fingertips, shoulder blades sliding down your back. Back toes press into the mat. And reach back. Toes come up. Inhale, foot comes flat, hips down, chest lifts. Draw the belly in to pull you back. Again, you might choose to do a little longer holding in each position, or you might feel it's more beneficial today to just move with the breath forward and back. to find the rhythm that works for you today. One more set. And we'll flatten the back foot on the floor. Inhale up onto your thigh. Stay here if you need to. Finding your drishti, bring your hands behind you on your sacrum and bring the elbows together. And if you have the balance, pressing into the front foot for stability, the top of the back foot. Begin to lift your chest, pressing the spine forward between your shoulder blades. Nice deep breaths into the open front of your body as you look up. And come forward with the hands inside the foot. And if you can, you're going to lift that back foot. And if you're super flexible, I'm not feeling super flexible today, you can grab that back foot or just lift the foot. Let's flex it or point it, feel what works for your thigh. It feels more intense in the thigh if you flex it, more intense in the calf if you point it. Deep breaths. And release. And come back into child. Let's come into standing through downward facing dog today. So we'll inhale up into table. Walk the hands just a little bit forward. Coming into our dog tilt, draw the belly in, turn the toes over. Let's start by lifting the knees as high as the heels and balancing here for a breath. And then pressing the chest towards the thighs and lifting the tailbone. So we're working on stretching the spine more than the back of the legs. And then we'll begin to lift the hips and straighten the legs. Maybe pressing one heel back and the other knee forward. And changing sides. Lift the heels, lift the tailbone, press the heels down, the thighs back. Flatten the shoulder blades on your back and press into the ball of your index finger. And walk yourself to a forward fold. Nice, long, slow breaths into the back body. And then bring your hands to your thighs and round yourself up. Coming into Tadasana. And let's grab our ball. And we'll place the ball on the floor under one foot. We'll put the other foot on the ball and we'll roll up and down. So this is the balancing pose. Or if you need to hold on to a wall or something, please do that. So we're giving our foot a nice massage. And let's bring the heel onto the floor and press the ball of the foot into the ball. Lean forward a little bit. You'll feel that extra stretch in the back of your leg. And come back up and bring that ball under your heel. Press into the heel. One more roll. Oops. And then put that foot flat on the floor and feel the difference. Feel that foot wider and more connected to the earth. And then we'll do the other foot. So rolling up and down. My mat is drifting. Okay, and put the ball under the ball of your foot. Lean into it. Go stretch in the back of your calf. And bring that ball under your heel and lean into it. And one more time, let's roll up and down. And I don't know why my mat's doing that. Bring the ball between your ankles, between your heels. Find your drishti and come on up onto your toes. Adding arms if you like. and down. And we'll put the ball away for now. We're going to do a half salute and then turn that into a lunge. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Right foot steps back into a lunge. And you can either do a low lunge or a high lunge, whichever works for you. And then we're either going to do another set of toe hamstring stretch or straighten the leg coming nose to knee. Inhaling forward. So again, you're either in low lunge or high lunge. Toe hamstring stretch or nose to knee pyramid pose. One more lunge. One more pyramid pose. And well, some of you are in low lunge, so let's step forward. I was going to do something from pyramid, but I didn't know how to tell you to do it from low lunge, so we'll get there another way. Hanging out in forward fold. Bring the hands to the sides and lengthen up with a straight back, so variety here. Coming back to Tadasana. And we'll do a half salute, coming into a lunge on the left side. Inhale up and fold. Left leg steps back into a lunge. And stay here or put your knee on the floor. Either toe hamstring stretch or pyramid pose, whichever you feel is best for you today. Inhale, lunge. And back to pyramid. And one more lunge. And one more pyramid. And inhale, lunge, and step forward, forward fold, hang over, enjoy that stretch. Bring your hands to your hips, lengthen your spine, coming up with a straight back, pressing into your heels. And Tadasana. All right, we're doing great. Okay. Let's step out to a wide-legged pose, coming into our 5-pointed star. And then we'll bring our hands to the sacrum and lift the chest, arc up, tailbone down, spine pressing into the heart and broadening the chest. And then we'll slide down the legs. Coming into a forward fold. You can have your hands on your legs or on the floor, right underneath your shoulders, or even walk them back so that the forearms are vertical and the upper arms are horizontal. And let's walk around to the outside of the right leg. You can stay here or slide your right hand up to your hip, spin your body, or reach up. And maybe your hand isn't on your ankle, maybe it's on your knee. That's okay, wherever works for you. Again, make the spin in your belly rather than throwing your arm away. So it's more important about the core than it is about where your fingers are. Let's come on back down. We'll walk ourselves back to the other side, coming to the outside of our left leg. Again, maybe this is the outside of your left leg. That's okay. And slide your left hand up to your hip and spin your body towards the ceiling. So here we are. More important to work on the core spinning than it is to have your arm way up high somewhere. But then if you like, you can add an arm. Just make sure you feel your engagement of your shoulder blades flat on your back. Don't throw your arm away. It's not good for you. More important to work on spinning from the belly. Use your hand on your leg to help you twist. And come on back down. And nice deep forward fold. Maybe you want to widen your legs a little bit. Again, you can have your hands underneath your shoulders or walk them back so your forearms are parallel. You're pulling the floor to help you bring your head closer to your knees. Feel the broadening of your back. And walk your hands forward and feel it's kind of like a downward facing dog, tenting your fingers on the floor, pulling your hip creases back and lengthening your spine. Draw your belly in and up. Inhale yourself back to center, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, back to a forward fold. Reach your arms around behind you, Yoga Mudra. And roll up. Float the arms out. Let's come back down onto our mats, coming back to the back of our mats in child pose once again. Inhale up. We're going to come into lizard pose. So we're going to step our right foot to the outside of our hands. So we're dropping the hips once again. Again, if you need to pad your left knee, fold your mat over. And bring a hand to the inside of that leg and roll onto the outside of the foot. And turn and look up. Bring the foot back down, bring the hand back down. And again, lift that back knee. Walk yourself around a little bit towards that back leg. And if you can grab the ankle, fine. If not, just stay here. And maybe just look back at your foot. and put the foot back on the floor, come back to center, and press back into child. Inhale back up. Bring the other foot to the outside of your left hand. Drop your hips. Bring your hand onto your knee. Roll onto the outside of your foot, dropping the hip. Press into your supporting hand, a little spinal twist. Bring the hand back down, walk around a little bit the other way. Again, if you need to pad your knee, fold your blanket, your mat, lift that leg up. If you're super flexible, you can grab that foot. Not feeling it today. You can look back maybe and just see what that foot's doing. Dropping the hips and stretching the front of the thigh. And place that foot back on the floor and press back into child. Inhale up once again. We're going to come into Kapotasana, pigeon pose. So bringing the legs together, let's inhale the right knee forward. And again, you could just be sitting on your heel, or you can bring your heel in front of your opposite thigh, whatever works for you. Slide down towards the floor as much as you can. Then you can pad yourself if you need to. Walk your hands back, coming into proud pigeon. Shoulder blades down, heart lifted, lower belly lifted. Again, if you're not flexible and you're down here, just don't collapse. Think cobra, scoop up. And let's reach forward for reclining pigeon. Again, you can bring your forehead to your hands or your forehead to your arms or your forehead to the floor. Whatever level of challenge is right for you. Deep breath into the hip stretch there. you come back up, hang out here. I'm going to give you an option for a pigeon twist, but I think you should see it first. So I'm going to come back down into my pigeon pose. We'll lift this elbow. So remember how we did it in child earlier? Bringing the front leg in. So notice the knee that's in front. That's the fingertips. Turn towards that leg, coming into a pigeon twist. All right, so if you'd like to try that, or you can just go back to reclining pigeon. So you're walking yourself down onto your elbows, maybe. Lift that elbow, bring the other arm in with the palm up. So your hand and knee are pointing in the same direction. And you're sliding through. Spin your rib cage towards the ceiling. And bring your hand back in and slide back into child. Inhale back up. Drive the left knee forward. Again, you could be sitting on your heel or bring that heel out in front of your opposite thigh. Slide the hips down towards the floor. Walk your hands back, coming into a proud pigeon. Squaring your hips to the front of your mat. And then slowly come down, either onto your elbows, supporting your forehead, or onto your forearms, or onto the floor, whatever works for you in reclining pigeon. And inhale back up into proud pigeon. So you can watch for a second how to do the twist if you'd like to do that. So again, you're coming back down onto your elbows or coming forward, bringing that arm, opposite arm in. So the fingertips and the knee that's out to the side, they're together, forearm on the parallel to the front of your mat. And slide through onto your shoulder. Walk that other arm forward. Spin your rib cage towards the ceiling. Or go back into reclining pigeon if this is not your fancy today. And bring that hand in, slide back up, and press back into child. And you can end class in child or roll over onto your back and end class in Shavasana, whichever feels better for you. Take 1 more minute. You can stay here as long as you like. When you're ready, begin to bring some movement back into your fingers and toes. And gently move and stretch in whatever way feels good to you. And make your way to a seated position. I hope you enjoyed this deeply nourishing yoga class. Namaste.